Alright, welcome back everyone to this stupid series of videos. AI generated topic ranking. The first one did moderately well, and I was like, I should do another one, and it's been like many months. Anyway, we're back again. Sorry, I gotta move my microphone. That'll be a little better. The topic that the AI suggested this time, the AI being ChatGPT, I said, give me some topics to rank Danganronpa characters on, and it gave me a bunch of boring stuff like best character development that I've definitely already ranked before. So instead I said, give me wacky choices, and then I put them on a wheel, and the one we got was most likely to fall for misinformation or conspiracy theories. So that's what this scale is. It does regularly and will again to never, essentially. I'm only ranking the characters from the three main games, but that's still a lot of characters, so we'll see what happens. I guess we're starting with Nekomaru. Oh, also, I should explain this. Personal biases means, like, if you see an article that agrees with your viewpoint, you're more likely to agree with it, but only if it in like a moderate sense. Most people, I would say, probably do this on the regular. If it's just like a minor thing, like, oh, an article says that like an actor you don't like was bad on set. You're like, yeah, I believe that. It's like harmless, but you know, it could be untrue. Like it's unsubstantiated in the article, but you just believe it. That's what this is, versus the person who would check everything and always try to be perfectly correct. Which, honestly, I don't know if that's better or worse. About being that, you know, over the top about everything. Anyway, this is like dangerous stuff. Like, you understand. So when it comes to Nekomaru, I feel like he can definitely land in the personal biases category. But he might believe some stuff that's just blatantly untrue. You know what I mean? I don't know what it would specifically be about. No, it would be about, like Sakura, okay? Sakura, certainly, when she's talking about protein healing her and that kind of stuff, like it's a regenerative health potion. That kind of a thing. Although, I guess Nekomaru is mostly massage, which, I mean, it's not going to be bad for you. But I could see there being potentially something there, you know? Again, nothing too crazy serious, but he could maybe hurt somebody if he looks at the wrong thing. That's all I'm going to say. Celeste... This is a tough one. I mean, this whole topic is kind of tough because it doesn't really apply to the regular Danganronpa games. Like, it's really easy for, like, Kyoko and Kazuichi, right? Akane. Like, these ones are very simple. Yeah. But some of these are going to be hard. So maybe I'll just go through the easiest ones first. Aoi, pretty likely... Kirumi, probably never. Pekko's an interesting case because she's clearly very logical, but also she has a huge blind spot when it comes to like the mob and stuff. So it makes you wonder if she might maybe believe some things that aren't true about that. Well, we'll go with... Oh, I think we'll go here. We'll go there. Kaido definitely believes in some crazy stuff. He's probably up here. Taka is hard. Himiko, I mean, she believes in literal magic, kind of. So we'll go with likely. Where's Angie? Where's Angie? Okay, well, obviously Yasuhiro. Where is Angie? There she is. Okay, there we go. Who else falls for misinformation? Honestly, I could see Makoto being up here. At least before the game, it doesn't seem like he thinks too much through very seriously. You know what I mean? Although I don't know if it's quite on the level of like Angie. You know? So maybe it's like here. That seems correct. Gonta? Yeah. He would never believe anyone would ever lie to him. Kokichi's the one who makes the misinformation. How do I... we'll go with some. I'm sure he believes some stupid stuff. Miyu, definitely. Ibuki? Ibuki's interesting, because she's way smarter than she looks. But I think I'd still put her here. She's not super critical, I would argue. Samugi makes the misinformation as well. So I guess that puts her... I think that puts her about here. Personally. Because I know Kokichi's here, but Kokichi's also, like, way more willing to believe in himself. You know what I mean? Like, he's got way more of an ego to him that I could see him maybe falling into misinformation because of that. Hiyoko probably believes in, like, literal trolls. I don't know if that's where that is. Maybe here. I can't see her looking at an article and being like, I wonder if this isn't true. You know what I mean? Rantaro, I think, has to go here. He's got a big blind spot when it comes to, like, siblings in general. But he is worldly, so I have a good feeling about him being like, is that really true? I don't know. Korekio, honestly, I could maybe see biases, but the thing is, his bias is towards just a very specific person who was not famous or anything. It's not even a concept. It's literally just a very specific person. So honestly, I do think he would land down here. He's he's a trained science person, you know? Where we go? Okay. Ryoma, definitely. I think this makes sense to me. He's got his head less in the clouds than these people, but he's certainly got more than one area of bias when it comes to articles. You know what I mean? He's been in the prison system. He's, you know, a murderer who doesn't believe in himself. You know, there's a lot of articles you could see that he'd be like, yeah, that's probably right. I am terrible. Nagito, yeah. Nagito, definitely. The thing is, he's just lucky enough that the things he believes end up being somehow true. You know what I mean? Even though they're clearly false. Mondo, I feel like Mondo is also here, just fairly standard. Which this is, like, kind of standard. This is, like, you're trained a little bit, and this is, like, yeah, you kind of base your whole life around being logical. I feel like Mondo, for the most part, the thing is, I don't think he'd be reading that many articles to begin with, is the thing. So his chances of seeing misinformation are slimmer than a lot of the other characters who spend a lot of time online or listening to the news, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like if there's definitely some reason to believe that he would not think critically about things, but his opportunity to be in that situation is a lot smaller. Chihiro, it's a little tough. I think Chihiro's down here. I give Chihiro a lot of credit, I think, sometimes on being sort of scientific, I guess, just because the talent of Ultimate Programmer is that in that realm in my mind. So that might be a little bit wrong, but hey. Also, I forgot to mention last time, I'm doing a whole bunch of these, and last time I mentioned that the top one is going to be 5 points. So this tier list is actually backwards, because this is the relevant topic. So being in here is actually 5 points, and this is only 1. I guess the question was phrased in a way that maybe put it backwards, and I'm only now considering this. Gundam, I mean, he talks about demons a lot. He might be here. Yeah, I think so. I mean, Junko is, again, also the creator of the misinformation. That is something I should point out as well, and it kind of reflects in my rankings, maybe even, like, subconsciously. But all of the Danganronpa 2 students fell for Junko's rhetoric and joined her side. I know in the anime it states that she, like, or it's shown that she hypnotized them, but in the games it's certainly implied that it was more of a convincing thing, the same way she does with, like, the kids in Ultra Despair Girls. So I feel like that's a decent point against most of them, right? I know they were vulnerable, but still, it's not really accounting for that. Or counting that out, rather. It is accounting for that. I feel like Junko is actually probably here. And it's not because it's pure logic, it's just her talent is analysis. So she'd be able to just figure it out. You know what I mean? It's a super talent. Same with Izuru. Like, they'd just be able to know if it was a lie or not. That's just what their god powers allow them to do. Maki... I don't think Maki is especially critical. She's not, like, all the way off the deep end, but... I think that's maybe it. I think so. Who else do we have that's easy? Leon? Definitely personal bias. Definitely along here for sure. I mean, if I put Makoto up here, Leon's gotta be up here. You know what I mean? Leon would definitely believe in some crazy scam about, you know, this method of throwing a baseball will make you throw it 500 times faster. You know what I mean? Mahiru, yes and no. I feel like this is like, Mahiru's like a herbal healing type person, but like in terms of like political misinformation, she'd not get tricked by it, so I'll put her here. Tango. I mean, Tango's... Yeah. I think that's literally just true, right? Yeah, I think so. Mikon, absolutely. Mikon would be willing to believe anything anyone tells her. I guess Mukuro will have to use this picture. I forgot about that. Mukuro's tough. I mean... Mukuro also believed all of Junko's bullshit, but that might have been somewhat influenced by their personal bond, which is more of a personal bias, but I think here makes sense, because there's probably, I mean, a few things that she believes from joining a foreign military that probably aren't entirely true. You know what I mean? Oh god. I saw Haijito's face. Ugh. Fuyiko! Again, that mafia life, I have to imagine there's some level of brainwashing and, like, believing things that aren't true. So that leads some proclivity for misinformation. I'll just put him beside Peko. Tanko. No. Chiaki. Okay, I gotta move all these guys up. Kibo. Who else is left? There was somebody else. Oh, Hajime. Hifumi, Poster, Sonya, oh, Shuichi, Toko, and Teru. Okay. Well, a lot of these are pretty easy. Sonya, yes. Her country has brainwashed her themselves. So she's gotta have a bunch of misinformation in her brain. Kibo is controlled by a chat of, like, thousands of people. So I feel like logically he would have to, right? You know what I mean? Hifumi... I feel like Hifumi is here. Because Hifumi is moderately critical. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't just believe things. But at the same time, if it was something he really wanted to believe, he wouldn't even think twice about it. Whereas, like, these people might think twice about it, but they'd still believe it. Hifumi would not. Shuichi, it's a little bit tough. I think it has to go here. He's not pure logic like Kyoko, surely, but he is a detective, and he does value the truth. So This makes sense to me. Kaede, yeah. I hate to say it, but yeah. Her whole thing is believing in everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. She's a good person, but she definitely believes the moon landing was fake. Okay. Teru. Pretty likely. I feel like he'd at least think twice about some things. You know what I mean? Hajime. That's also tough, because Hajime believes a lot of lies about Hope's Peak, which maybe means he would believe lies about other things. That kind of leads more to personal bias, but I'm putting him here because it's safer to account for that. Toko, yeah, I would think so. I would think so. There's another person who spends a lot of time, like, alone, presumably sometime online, and isn't particularly critical about things. Imposter? Now this is interesting. I feel like Imposter has to be here. It's kind of interesting because it's literally the same as Byakuya, but for different reasons. Like, Byakuya is here. I didn't really even explain it, but you know why. Because he's got that huge wealth of information, right, at his fingertips that he regularly peruses for fun. Whereas I feel like Imposter has to go here because Imposter has to be able to play a bunch of different characters. And to be able to play a character correctly, you have to understand their beliefs, but you don't necessarily believe them yourself, right? So I feel like Imposter is constantly critical of things people believe, just out of necessity. It's interesting. So this is so hard. Okay, these three are actually the hardest. Because Chiaki, on one hand, I could definitely see it happening. But on the other hand, she's a computer program. Does that make it impossible? I guess it would make whoever programmed her capable of programming faults into her when it comes to information. So is that personal biases? I'm just going to cut the difference and put her in the middle. Celeste is also weird because she seems smart and she's definitely critical. But she's also got a lot of, like, weird holes in her, like, logic, you know what I mean? I think this makes sense to me, maybe. Because, like, if she read something that suited her, she believes in past lives, and, like, I'm not saying that's 100% wrong, but I'm just saying she probably, if she believes in that, believes in things that come along with that, perhaps. You know what I mean? Celeste strikes me as a person who might believe in, like, you know, being able to open your mind in order to reincarnate better, that kind of stuff. So yeah, personal biases make sense to me. And then Taka is, like, impossible. Because Taka's smart. But he's not very critical. He's literally the opposite kind of Celeste. Like, Celeste isn't... She's devious, but she's not, like, particularly, like, book smart. Where she'd just know the information and be able to say, oh, well, I know that's not true. Taka's kind of the opposite, where he is book smart. But I don't know if he's, like, competent enough to think that, you know, he's presented with new information. He's like, oh, of course, this must be 100% accurate. I should readjust my beliefs because of this. You know? It's hard to say. I'm going to put him in likely, I think. I feel a little bad about Kaede. Kaede's the only one I feel a little bad about. But I feel like it's true. She's just way too trusting of people. That's the problem. It's kind of the same with Makoto, but Makoto a little bit less because he grows during the course of the game. And I didn't really specify when, so I'm just going kind of generally. I was ranking them from. So I guess that, you know, kind of helps out a little bit. Anyway, that's this list. You can leave your disputes in the comments. I forgot Sayaka. Oh no. That was close. Good thing I checked. Is there anybody else? I mean, Genocide, but no. No, okay, it's just Sayaka. Sayaka, I think she goes in the middle. Actually, kind of very similar to Ibuki. Where, like, probably not for most things, but there's definitely some areas where I could see her being like, oh, duh. You know what I mean? Of course. Without thinking. Alright, there we go. Time to get a new topic. Okay. Our next topic is... Where the hell is the reset button? There it is. Most likely to become world leader. Alright, I don't feel like I need to really fill in the things. I guess I should, though. Could... Wouldn't want to... Whoa, that was pretty bad. Maybe. Okay. So, obviously, already is... There's two people that I can put in this category, which is kind of crazy. One of them is kind of Makoto. I know he's not literally a world leader, but he is leader of the Future Foundation. And if you believe the V3 whatever, then, you know, he kind of went on to become like the headmaster of Hope Speed Academy, which kind of controls the world sort of a little bit. In terms of like what people get into what positions and having a huge influence on multiple different facets of society because of it. Where the hell is Kirumi? I'm trying to find her. Okay, there she is. I mean, she's not a world leader, but... Well, no, world... I'm thinking of world leader as, like, leader of the entire world. That's not what it means. It just means a leader of a country in the world. So, yeah. This one's going to be pretty polarizing, because it's basically just no for everybody, except for a few specific people. Like, Nekomaru, no. Well, okay, I'll put him in wouldn't want to. Not a chance is for people that do want to, but will never. You know what I mean? Like Kaido. Aoi, no. Because I think it's worse to want to be a world leader and be bad at it than it is to just be like, no, I can't do that. You know what I mean? Celeste definitely would want to, but is bad. Taka, now there is some leadership qualities to Taka. I'm putting him in maybe. He's a little bit like neurotic, but with some, you know, maturing, I think he could do it. Probably. Not a chance. I don't think Himiko would want to, though. Tsumugi? I hate to say it, but maybe. Oh, also Junko's literally a world leader. Yeah. Oops. There's a lot of world leaders. Conquerors in Danganronpa. Yeah. Gundam? I don't... would Gundam want to? That's the question. That's really the question. I don't think he would, but he does talk big about being the king of, like, demons. Oh, wait! Sonya's also literally a world leader. Oh my god, there's so many of them. I didn't anticipate this. Just remembering things. Actually, I feel like I have to put Gundam in maybe because of that, because they literally have a relationship. You know what I mean? So, like, if he survived, he might have become a king. So, you know. Sakura wouldn't want to. Kyoko? I could see a, like, what if, Marvel what if scenario where Kyoko had to take over the world, and she would do it. In order to, like, save it. I feel like she could do it. Honestly, I'm gonna put her in could, I think. Hiyoko probably would think she's able to and definitely cannot. Rantaro? I don't think so. Peko? No. She's far content. I don't think Akane even has a grasp of what that means. Maki? No. Chihiro? No. Byakuya? He's got to go in could. Not that he'd be a good one, but I could see him being voted in, you know? Rich, annoying people get voted into positions of power all the time. Izuru, he definitely could. I mean, we all know Izuru's the most powerful ever. But, hey, he's not literally a world leader. I mean, I guess after Junko died, did he take over to the Despairs, kind of, technically? So does that make him kind of like the leader of a world organization? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to just put him in here to dock 1 point off of him, because he's probably going to get perfect in everything anyway. He honestly doesn't even count, you know what I mean? Like, in the end, I'm probably just going to discount him, because he's got all talents and is good at everything. So, like, duh. But, you know. He's a vast outlier. No, I don't think Mikan would want to. Who else is here? Mukuro? I think I have to put Mukuro in maybe, because if Junko could do it, then Mukuro could do it. They basically have the same talent, right? Their talent... Mukuro uses it to be a soldier, but their talent both is basically ultimate analyst. At least that's the way I think of it. Because clearly they both have superhuman ability to read people. For Junko, I think it's more mentally, whereas Mukuro is more physically. You know what I mean? That's what makes sense to me. And they're also twins, so like it's a trope, whatever. Angie, she would want to, but no, it wouldn't happen. Well, actually, she did brainwash everybody in the student council, so it's a maybe from me. Kokichi definitely would want to, and honestly, he can maybe do it. He's good at lying. It's a required skill. Mahiru, I don't think she'd want to. Kazuichi wouldn't want to. Miyu might actually want to, so I'm putting her down here. Leon, no. Korekio? No, he's too focused. Ryoma, definitely not. Chiaki, no. Gonta, no. Well, no. Kibo, this is another tough one because, again, he's kind of controlled by consensus. And a decent amount of people probably believe they would be better off as the prime minister than, or president than whoever is right now in whatever country they live in. So I'll go with maybe. Shuichi, it's interesting. Shuichi could be an interesting candidate. But I'm putting him in he wouldn't want to. I don't think he would. Tanko, here's the thing. I think Tanko would want to, but she wouldn't win. Sorry. Sayaka, no. Although, celebrities running for president, pretty common. So, I don't know. It's not America, though. It's Japan. So, Ibuki, no way. Fuyuhiko. Now, this is interesting because he's also the leader of a vast organization. Well, technically. Anyway. I'll put him in maybe. Hajime. I don't think he would want to. Ifumi. He probably believes he could rule the world. He probably does. Let's be honest with ourselves. Tugami. I feel like I have to put him in... Here's the problem. He could have been an imposter for a world leader at any time. We don't know. That's the thing. I mean, if Byakuya could potentially become a world leader, and Tugami can convince everyone he's Byakuya using some sort of imposter superpower, which he definitely has, then I feel like that's proof that he could do it. You know what I mean? It's weird logic, but we got there. Nagito, I mean, he definitely could. He could become a world leader with his luck. You know what I mean? People wouldn't even want to vote him in, but his name would get, like, swapped on the ballot or something like that. Some stupid thing like that, and people would vote him in anyway. Teru. I don't think he would. I'm going to give him a little credit and say he probably wouldn't. Yasuhiro definitely thinks he can do it, and he definitely cannot. Mondo, another leader of an organization, but I don't think he would want to. And Toko, probably not. So, there we go. That's that. Hold on. There we go. Oh yeah, 30 minutes. I was going to say, should I do another one? Oh no. I don't think I missed anybody this time. I'm just taking a second look here. Oh, frick, Kaede. Kaede wouldn't want to. Let's be fair. Yeah, okay. So that's the world leaders. I said I was going to do 10 of these. And this is only up to the 4th, which means there are 3 more episodes of this I have to do in the future. Let me know if you want to see more of this, and maybe suggest some topics to put on the wheel. Or I guess you can't do that because it's AI generated, but maybe AI generate some topics and tell me about them in the comments. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.